Hi, I'm Chris Hickson, Chairman of the Gay Community Endowment Fund of Akron Community Foundation, and welcome to our 2011 annual meeting here at the Akron Art Museum in the auditorium. Today we're welcoming filmmaker Stu Maddox from San Francisco, California, who recently completed his groundbreaking documentary called Gen Silent, which is about aging in the gay community and how elderly LGBT people have to go back into the closet to make it through healthcare and to make it through the nursing home system. The Gay Community Endowment Fund was founded in 2001 by a group of Akron LGBT folks who wanted to find a way to bring philanthropic dollars to the Akron community to benefit Akron area organizations. We partnered with Akron Community Foundation, set up a long-term philanthropic fund, and the interest from that fund is granted each year to worthy nonprofit organizations throughout the Akron-Canton area. Our major annual fundraiser is the Sugar Plum Tour. This year it will be celebrating its 10th anniversary in December, on the first Sunday of December. Every year, 475 to 500 tourgoers tour beautiful Akron homes decked out for the holidays, all with the interest of raising money for the Gay Community Fund. In addition, each year in September, we make grants totaling between $25,000 and $35,000 to worthy nonprofit organizations who are helping to make Akron a better place for LGBT people.
Hi, my name is Justin McCraw. I was the former editor-in-chief of Fusion magazine, and I'm the art director this semester. We're here today to show our support for the Gay Community Endowment Fund because they've supported Fusion for the last few years now. And I think it's really important to come out and show your support for other LGBTQ causes. We are a student publication at Kent State University. We publish twice a year, once each semester. We cover local LGBTQ topics on campus and in Northeast Ohio. And we've also expanded our coverage a little bit to encompass arts and entertainment across the country in terms of LGBTQ artists and allies.
Hi, my name is Ray Evans. I'm currently the editor-in-chief of Fusion magazine for spring 2011. I am a straight African-American woman, but I am an ally of the gay community. Basically, this semester we really wanted to cover stories that spoke to the gay community and covered stories that aren't usually covered in other magazines that don't target the gay community. So really, Fusion's goal is really to just make sure that the gay community is really covered properly in the media.
I want to give as much time as we can to our guest speaker, Stu Maddox, who flew all the way from California, and he brought the weather with him. And we want him to have as much time as possible to share his message. If you were at the screening of Gen Silent earlier this week at the University of Akron campus, you already know what an important message this is that Stu is here to share. We thank the film's presenters at Akron U, the University of Akron Institute for Lifespan Development, the Department of Psychology and the School of Social Work, the CPGSO, the LGBTU, and the Canopy. How's that for some A to Z's? We awarded grants to 11 Greater Akron organizations last year in November, a few of whom have representatives with us today. As I mentioned your organization, please stand if you're here. I'm not sure who is, who isn't, and there's a big dark spot in the middle, so who can holler? The Akron Art Museum, to assist in purchase of a James Goebel painting illustrating the pitfalls of stereotypes that you'll see in life size in your annual report. Asian Services in Action for an HIV/AIDS prevention program for Asian Americans in the Greater Akron area. The CASA Board Volunteer Association for the training of court advocates working with gay youth who are involved in the court systems. The Community Health Center for staff training in identifying and treating addiction and mental health issues in our community. First Grace UCC for Project Community, which was an art project that records the personal narratives of LGBT people and translates them into live theater performances. Friends of 91.3 The Summit for Kid Jam, which is their internet children's radio station that emphasizes anti-bullying messages. Fusion Magazine for support of Kent State's award-winning LGBT magazine. And I know we have 4 of the editorial staff from Fusion. Mobile Meals for meals and supplements for LGBT individuals in Akron. Violet's Cupboard for safer sex packets for people with HIV. Weathervane Community Playhouse for their production of Breaking the Code. And I know John Hedges, the Executive Artistic Director of Weathervane, is with us today. And actually one of the stars of that show is with us today somewhere. Is he not? Did he go hide, Richard? Yes. If you didn't see the show, it's a groundbreaking work. And it was just a terrific, terrific piece of theater. We were very proud to support that event. Western Reserve Public Media, which is channels 45, 49 PBS. We underwrote 1 year of In the Life, which is the national LGBT documentary news program that airs monthly. And in addition to that, our underwriting is allowing them to move it from the wee hours of the morning at 2:30 or something to an almost equally bad time of Saturday night at 11 o'clock. But we're working on it, and it's a good one. We thank all these organizations for the crucial work that they do in and for our community. While we were happy to fund these programs, there were other worthy programs that we had to decline. And that's why the continued growth of our fund is so important. As you know, all GCEF funds are permanently invested, and it's the income from the investments that we make grants with. We use a 3-year rolling average of the investment gains to determine how much money we have to give away. And it allows us to avoid the big swings within the stock market, as we've seen over the last few years, and keep our grant making somewhat consistent, even when the markets are volatile. It also means that for us to one day be able to grant on average $50,000 a year, which when we look at the worthy grant applications we receive, $50,000 a year is what we really need to cover them nicely and to go home feeling that we didn't underfund something. For us to reach that $50,000 a year, every year in perpetuity, we need to end up with a fund balance of $1 million. Your continued gifts, large, small, your patronage of the Sugar Plum Tour, and your legacy generosity of including GCEF in your will and your estate are what's going to bring us closer to achieving that goal. And it'll allow us to serve more and more worthy organizations every year. And thank all of you for each and every dollar of your support. So like I said, I'd be short. I was kind of short. And we're not going to do all the other reports because on the way out you're going to get this great annual report to the community, which is pretty great. And it includes all the details that we normally talk about at this event, but we really want to give the time to our guest. I'd like to introduce one of our board members who, in 2 short years on the board, has made a mark as a person who I think has more ideas free-flowing than almost anyone I've ever met. And I'm in the creative fields. I'm a graphic designer and marketing consultant, and it blows me away how quick and creative Cindy Chrisman is. 6 months ago, Cindy, who's our board secretary and also a lieutenant with the Akron Police Department, returned from Provincetown, and she came to our board meeting and she said that she had just seen an amazing documentary called Gen Silent. Well, one thing led to another, and here we are. To introduce our speaker, Stu Maddox, please welcome Cindy Chrisman.
Thank you so much. Wow, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Chris, for all the fine comments. And it really, truly was. When I saw the film in October in Provincetown, it just clicked. Because when I joined the board, there was conversation about having this life planning seminar that we would do as a public service for the local gay community. And once I saw the film, it was like the light came on. This is it. This is what needs to be a part. This will be everything that will set it forward. And it's come together quite well. I discovered after coming back to town that Akron U was also working on getting the film to come to Akron. And so we joined with them in sponsorship and brought the film, which was shown last Tuesday. And about 100 people were there. It was great, followed by a panel discussion, and it was very worthwhile. And from that, it has also led to many, many other ideas that will come down the road. But, and then it led to tonight's meeting, and bringing Stu Maddox here to address us and be our speaker for this year was just fantastic. And then also for our life planning seminar, which is coming to fruition, it's going to be May 15th, and you'll receive information about that as well on your way out the door. So if you can attend, you do need to register in advance. It has limited seating, but it's going to be wonderful. And it goes beyond all the basics that we should have, beyond the wills, the power of attorneys. It has domestic partnership information, and we have 4 local experts in the field that are going to speak on this, and it's going to be wonderful. I would be remiss if I didn't thank both Chris as well as John Grafton, who has just been phenomenal in this whole process. I might have the ideas, but the work has been John Grafton's almost totally. So thank you, John. I really, really appreciate it. Stu began his career actually as a television reporter and anchor in Nashville, where he won over 6 regional Emmy Awards. He has a Bachelor of Journalism from the University of Missouri, and he speaks frequently on story writing and documentary filmmaking. Please welcome Stu Maddox.
Thank you all for coming today. This is going to be an exciting next, few minutes. Whether you're older or younger or somewhere in between. I'm a filmmaker, so I decided to make a film. We found 6 people in Boston, Massachusetts, who are going through different parts of this puzzle. And we chose Boston because, frankly, I live in San Francisco, and everybody thinks we're unhinged. And of course, they have all the solutions to gay aging in San Francisco. I wanted to go to a place where other cities would look at Boston and go, that's a place, that's kind of like us. We can relate to that. San Francisco wouldn't have been possible. It would have detracted from the credibility of the film. But the problem is, even though we were ready to start, we had all our subjects, we had our research. The thing is with independent film, you can't go to funders and say, I got this great idea. I can't just read all these statistics. I can't do this thing at the podium and say, this is a great thing that must be told. Fund it. They say, go out and shoot some of it first and then come back to us. And if we like what you've got, then we'll think about helping you complete this film with our funds. So I knew that was the case, and so I was looking at my savings account pretty carefully, and I was looking at our frequent flyer miles. My partner and I decided to spend the 150,000 frequent flyer miles that we accumulated for that world vacation that we were going to take at some point, and use it for trips for me to go back and forth from San Francisco to Boston. And I remember him, looking at me and going, do it.